All right, hey everybody, it's New Year's weekend. This is the end of 2023. It's gone by so fast. I remember people saying, oh, as the older you get, the faster time goes by. And it didn't make a whole lot of sense then, but it does now. I don't know where the time went. I mean, 2023, it's come and gone. So I always kind of take the opportunity into the year to kind of do a recap, kind of a, what we did this year to kind of keep up with things. And so I went back through and I wrote down some stats and stuff. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of details, but some of these machines are really cool. So this year we had quite a few machines come and go. I really pared down, which is one of the neat things about having a collection. It's like money in the bank. I mean, it really is. I came in, I culled out what I was willing to part with, and we got rid of 13 machines this year. 13 machines. Now, I am a hoarder, y'all know this. I ended up buying 6 machines back. So it's not exactly as, big a number as it could have been. But by the end of this video, I'm gonna let you in on number 7 that we picked up in 2023. I'm excited about it. And I think that's part of why, this is why we do it. It's the excitement, it's the thrill of the, you fill in the blank. What part of it do you like the most? Is it the fixing? Is it the riding? Is it the finding? Is it negotiating a good deal? Is it, seeking out that hard to find part to finish a project? I mean, maybe you like all of those parts. I like most of those parts. It's all fun. That's why I do it. That's probably why you do it. And that's probably why you clicked on this video to watch it. So I'm just going to give you a rundown quickly of all the machines that we had this year, and it's a list. We started out, this is not in any particular order, this is just the list in general. Some of these are kind of hard, I don't even remember them, and that's kind of crazy. So these are machines that I personally purchased, had in my collection, fixed, and then sold. We had a 1970 CT70 in blue. It's a beautiful machine. We had that. We had an 85 ATC70. We parted with that one. It actually was a trade, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm not a big trader, but that one worked out really well. It in the 84 200X with the extended axle and the bald paddle tires. Y'all remember that one? The axle was like this wide and the tires just looked like really big donuts. It actually set the track record, believe it or not. That machine, as wore out as it was, it ran. It really was a great find. You hate to part with any of them, but there's a few that will always, you think fondly of. We had a little Murray track too. I did some work for a guy and he gave me the frame and chassis and I had the engine. It was just really a bunch of parts. But the little Murray track 2 was fun. I've never built a mini bike before. I did have some experience with go-karts, a lot of the same parts. But a fun little machine. I did not enjoy riding it. I really didn't. It was too small and too sketchy. Another one I hated to see go is the 85 Big Red 250 ES. Sometimes you just, you gotta let them go. You can't keep them all. And it was worth more to someone else than it was to me. We got in good on that machine, and so it was a good one to sell. So that brings us up to the 84 Odyssey. Now the Odyssey I really enjoyed, so much so if I run across another one, I will buy it. But I really want a 350, an FL 350, just for the suspension. The FL 250 is just, it's hard on these old bones. They're bouncy. Now on the track, on a smooth track, it was really nice. But as soon as you got out in an uneven yard, it was hard on you. It beat you up pretty good. It's a kid's machine, or you need to convert it with some kind of suspension. But a good machine, 2-stroke, real simple. Now this one was a long-term project. We've had it in the shop for a couple of years. I wanted to free up some space and free up a little capital. We made some good videos off of it. It's a good running machine. It's an 84 Big Red 200 ES. Now that one we went over and we put a 200M front end on it and really made a nicer machine out of that than really any other option. A 82, 83, 84 Big Red, and you've got a good functioning suspension, take care of it. Drain it. Make sure there's no water that gets, there's no fluid in that shock. It's a gas reservoir in there. Make sure no water gets down in that shock. Make sure you're not having any rust. It would be a good idea to even lubricate those forks just to keep those seals soft, because once they go out, it's over. Little Z50R, that was nice. You know, it's kind of one of those ones you're on the fence. It was a little too modern to keep it. Call it a classic, at least for me anyway. It was a mid-90s ZR, Z50R. It wasn't, you know, of the 80s era. I know they're very similar, almost exactly the same, but it just didn't have that look for me. So I really didn't mind parting it. We got it really good. We did good on that machine. We had that at the same time we had the next two machines, and the next two machines came in together. I bought them as a pair. We had a TRX 90 that had the big graphics kit on it. We did really good on that one. Went with an original OE carburetor. That machine was sidelined for some poor maintenance. They had put the wrong air filter on it. It couldn't breathe. As soon as I took the air filter off, it ran 100% better, but it still ran crappy. That's saying something. The carburetor was directly from Amazon and went directly in the trash. That carburetor was awful. I couldn't do anything with it. So we ended up going back with an original Honda OE carburetor. The Scrambler 90 came in at the same time. That machine ran and drove, but it had a few leaks, and it just needed, you know, prettying up. We got a good price on it, and as a bundle, anytime you can buy something in kind of a twofer, you're gonna get a better deal than just buying a one, and that's exactly what I did there. I went to look at that Scrambler 90, and I had full intention of just buying the 90, cleaning it up. I saw an opportunity there, and while talking to the seller, he had the TRX 92, and I was like, while I'm here, I've got the trailer, we might as well fill it up. So we made an even better deal by buying the two of them together. Both of those machines, great machines. All right, so then we brought in the TW3 or the 350 TW Rancher. Now we just had that one in recently. I think that was like 2 months ago. That came in for unadjusted clutch. That clutch had completely backed out its set screw and had no tension on the plates. Already ran, it just didn't drive. That was a home run. We picked up a used set of stock wheels that somebody had taken off a little bit newer model Honda, bolted them right on. Clean, shiny wheels, brand new tires. They might have been rode on 6 months for $100, wheels and all, even the center caps. Then we picked up the pink 250 Recon. Now we found that one at a yard sale. It wasn't in the sale, but while I was at the sale, I talked to the gentleman and he had it in the back row there, and we struck a deal. And so we loaded it up and brought it in here, and all it was a dirty fuel system. I mean, we went from tank, lines, filters, and carburetor, cleaned all that up, put a battery in it. We did end up reupholstering the seat on that machine and then parted ways with it. Great machine. The racks on it were just straight as it could be. For a utility machine, it was always well cared for. I bought that from the original owner with title. It's a big deal in my state. Your state may vary. So those are the machines. Those are 12 machines that we actually had here in the collection. I personally owned and sold after repairing. Every one of those machines is just a really, really strong machine. Very, very proud to have worked on all of them. That said, we had some other projects come in that weren't my machines personally. This year we had 2 go-karts. This is like partridge in a pear tree. We had a lawnmower come in. I picked up that little riding lawnmower and flipped it. A neighbor was just gonna scrap it, and I just couldn't see that, you know, I just couldn't see that going to the junkyard. We had 3 friends of mine's machines. We had those beautiful 3-wheelers come in. We had the 250R, the 85 250R. We did the oil change and service on that one. And then we had the 350X come in, the 85 350X, that had the drain plug that was put on with the impact gun. I don't know what that guy was thinking. Not my friend, but the guy he bought it from. Whoever put that on there, wow, that one scared me. But we serviced both of those machines, and then I had another friend, he brought in a Suzuki Igler. I don't know, who comes up with these names? The Suzuki 4-wheeler. That one was actually sabotaged, and someone had actually sunk that machine on purpose. And so he brought it to me non-running condition. It wouldn't even really turn over. And I checked the oil, and literally a water comes shooting out of the oil because it was the water level was all the way up in the top of the crankcase, and then the pressure just shot it out all over me and the floor and everywhere else. But we got it up and running. We made a video of it. He's happy with it. That machine is still running today. And then we brought in, just recently, we did a full service and a set of tires on my uncle. Had a little, he is the original owner, 250 Recon, the little green one. Just, I mean, that's the machine you want to buy. Older gentleman, original owner, never been rolled, never been wheelied, never been sunk to the handlebars. You know, they're hard to find, I get that. But if you're out there looking, take your time and find a machine like that. That machine will last you literally a lifetime if you take care of it. So those are the machines that we parted with. Those are the machines that we service. We made videos. Speaking of that, we made 40 videos this week, which is, you know, it's a little less than one a week. I try to take a few weeks off here and there, weather, parts as they come in, family, you know, obligations or trips or something like that. That takes priority. Videos and working out in the shop, this is my hobby. This is not what I do for a living. This is not even close to what I do for a living. My 9 to 5 is more like 9 to 9. And so I fit videos in and three-wheelers and motorcycles and that kind of stuff. You know, shop time is on, it's not the priority I wish it was, but it is what it is. That's what they say. Dole, thinking about you, buddy. That's for you, Landon. You did really good on your Yamaha. I got a friend of mine, his son's coming up, and he has a little Yamaha motorcycle, and it wasn't running. And he watched some videos, and he got inspired, and he went out and he tackled it, him and his dad, his father-son project, and it's up and running. They sent me a couple of pictures of it, and he even put one of my little stickers on it. So thank you, Landon. I appreciate it. You're gonna go far, buddy. Good job. So, what did we bring in the shop? What did we add to the collection this year? we got some home runs, and I keep teasing you a little bit. At the end of this video, you're gonna see probably something that may even surpass some of the other machines in the collection. So starting out, we got our little KDX here behind me. Got parts ordered for that. Tires were kind of hard to find, believe it or not. Good knobby tires that like this is supposed to have. Took me a little while to track down a set of tires that were this size. It's an odd size. Got a clutch coming for it. I've done some research on it to kind of give you an update on that machine. It smokes like a freight train, but it's not rings and it's not a low compression situation. What we're dealing with here is, I think, is a crank seal. This let go is leaking, split, dried up, I don't know. All of the readings, which I cannot find a manual. If you have a manual or know where a manual is on this machine, let me know. I'd love to take a look at it, download it, whatever we can do. So that's what we've done on that one. We've got parts coming, so look forward to that 2024. That's gonna be on the channel. I don't foresee it going anywhere. It's just a really cool machine. We got into it really good price-wise. Parts aren't that expensive, and it doesn't need a whole lot to just be a rider. I'm not gonna restore it, we're just gonna ride it. So, the yard sale 350X, now that caused a stir. I found a 350X, a running, driving 1985 350X in a yard sale listing. Look that video up if you want it. That's pretty neat. It needed some work, and that's okay, because that's how we like to find them, because that makes them affordable. Everything on this list needs work. But we took that one out. We went on a ride. We took it and just beat the tar out of it all day. I think we probably logged 50, 60 miles that day. The machine never skipped a beat. It ran perfect. Now, I did burn the clutch out of it by the end of the day, but that's all part of it. It's all part of it. And so, you know, these machines are older than probably half of y'all watching this. Keep that in mind. So the D.I.D 3 KXT 250. I mean, that was like at the top of my bucket list. It's right there. There's 3 machines, maybe 4 machines that I knew was going to be extremely hard to find to fulfill my personal list. We ended up buying the D.I.D straight out. It was a really good buy for what it was. It's an 84. It needs some work, but it runs and drives. And that's another way to find a machine. They don't all have to be completely broken down and in pieces to be able to afford them. You maybe spend a little more up front to find one running, And then you can go back through it at your pace, at your leisure, and how you can afford it. And so that's what we're doing for the Ducati. We've already started at the back. We're working our way up. Next, we're going to do some more suspension work on that one. The motor already runs and drives. So we also picked up, this was one of the first purchases of 2023, was the 84R. Now it looked really bad, and I got it home and I sat down next to it and I just kind of stared at it for about an hour. And I was like, what did I buy? I bought a mess. But that thing fired up and ran and almost idled the very first night. Never pulled the carburetor off of it. That doesn't happen. That just does not happen. That machine wanted to run. And so grateful and happy to have it. It sits up there on the shelf now. It's ready to ride. It is a good looking machine. I did put the lawnmower tires on it and y'all hated that. But I gotta tell you, it handled extremely well. It was about 2 inches lower to the ground, a little bit wider footprint. That's why the flat track guys do that. It just changes the characteristics of a three-wheeler. Try it. Just if you've never tried it, try it. You'll like it. Now, so that being said, it also came in with my Achilles heel. That came in with an 87 or 88, I don't even remember, that's how bad it is, Suzuki LT250R. Y'all hated that too. Now, the Honda guys hated that. The Suzuki guys, first time coming to the channel. Thank y'all for coming. 2024 is going to be a big year for Suzuki. The engine, I sent it out to my good friend Matt up at Garage MC. Y'all check out his channel. He is a four-wheeler guy. He knows those things inside and out. And so he offered to build the engine for me. I had all the parts and I was just procrastinating and procrastinating. Matt, thank you. I appreciate you doing that for me. And I look forward to seeing the build. So it's going to be my responsibility to get the chassis ready. So 2024, the Suzuki's coming back out. It's still here. It's right there in the corner. We're going to pull the Suzuki out. We're going to go through the chassis on it. We're going to get the chassis ready for that engine when Matt gets it finished. And that is the 6 machines that we brought in for 2023. We're going to part with the white 350X. I'm going to make a video of that specifically, but that one's going to go away. I picked up yesterday a machine that was at the top of my list. It was one of those machines that was going to be very expensive or was going to be very rough if I found it cheap. And so I went with the latter of the two. I met a gentleman a year ago, and he's a kind of a hero, I got to tell you. He's an older gentleman. He's probably in his late 60s, and he races flat track vintage motorcycles in a seniors class. And just the nicest guy you ever want to meet. And I knew in his collection he had this machine, and I didn't make a move on it. I didn't ask him about it at the time. At the time I was thinking of something else, but I just put it in the back of my mind that he had one, and I knew he wasn't riding it. I knew that it was a a project. And so I reached out to my buddy and I said, hey, do you still have that 250R, that CR 250R? And he says, yeah, I still got it. It ain't moved. It's sitting in the same place you saw it a year, 2 years ago. So this is the last purchase of 2023. This is going to be content for 2024. We'll do it's not going to be a will it run. It's not going to run. But that's it on the trailer. I brought it in yesterday late. I didn't even unload it. We're going to unload it here in just a few minutes. But it's pretty much, as far as I can tell, all original. It's had some bad work done to it. Somebody's come in here and they pulled the cylinder and the carbs loose. You see it's half hanging out. The little things you look for: bolts missing, heads loose. We've got some epoxy. This is the gear shifter. That's never good. But overall, it's all here. Somebody's been in the clutch. Our clutch cable's not connected. This is, I don't know what's going on. I haven't done anything to it. He got it just like this. He never worked on it, but it's here, and we're going to figure something out. So excited to have it. This was the bike to have in 85 if you could find one. I don't think it has a piston in it. We're just, I'm guessing at this point. I can't even order parts at this point, but that's the big news. I'll let that one out of the bag. 2024, we will be working on a 1985 CR250. it's a learning curve. We're gonna learn together. But it came with a manual, and that's always good. Get a manual, whatever you have. Whatever machine you have, either download the manual. There's a link in the description where all of them, they're free to you. 3-wheelers, a few 4-wheelers are there. Download the manual. You don't have to print it out. Keep it digital. Put it on your phone. Go out to your garage or shop. You can look up the information right there. You don't even need internet. Oh yeah, whoops, PS, forgot one. So the 86 TRX 250R was a trade. We traded the little ATC 70 on number 6. We put a seat on that one. We set the points on it. Carburetor, air filter, tune up, that kind of stuff. Put some tires on it. We did a lot of work to that one, but we got it ridiculously cheap. So we did really good on that machine. And the wide axle 200X, I traded both of those machines together as a package for the TRX. Now the TRX needed a lot of work. That is a pretty expensive machine. It's a very good machine. I'll hop on it and ride it right now. We did a top end on that machine, piston, honed it out, did a couple of videos with it. Just a really, really fun machine. I enjoy riding it. Very stable, good brakes. If you want a sports 4-wheeler and you like a 2-stroke, you cannot do any better, in my opinion, than a TRX 250R. Machines will still come and go. I talk about my list, my collection. I will still be buying, fixing, and selling machines. But for what I personally want to keep, we're almost there. There's 2 machines I haven't said yet, and that's probably going to finish out my top 10. And then things are going to change for me. My goal is always to have my top 10, acquire them. I've almost done that. I want my top 10 to be running and driving. I've almost done that. Then it will be take each one of those machines and go back through them and make them what they really should be. That's it. 2023 is in the books. That we've had a great year. We have hit 8,900 subscribers. This is our 2nd full year. Been on doing this for about 2.5 years. Thank you for each and every one of y'all that have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just below this little screen here, there's a like button, there's a subscribe button. Hit that for me if you will. I'd greatly appreciate it. So thank you for those that have. Thank you for those that are about to. I appreciate it. I hope y'all had a wonderful year, 2023. I look forward to doing more in 2024. So y'all take care, as always. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.